So I'm riding up past Deadmans Grave from Icklingham. I'm on my way to Berners Heath and the Elvedon War Memorial. Berners Heath used to be where they took tanks in the war, and it was used as target practice for Allied bombers. It was also used as a place where Allied aircraft would drop their bombs if they failed to drop them on the target, so that they were light enough to land. On Google Maps you can see some craters. All that's left today is a wall with a very big hole in it. On the way to Berners Heath from Icklingham, there's a slight incline. I advise don't ride on the sand because there's no traction at all. It's like riding on a beach. Ride on the grass verges instead, but watch out for the sheep. What a lovely sight. He agrees. Once you get over the ridge, the surface is sandy. There are lots of flints. I would recommend as a tip that if you come up here at winter time, you wear waterproofs or you don't mind getting muddy, because there are massive holes and massive puddles every year, and they take a long time to dry up. That being said, it rained last night, and from looking at the surface today, you wouldn't guess it other than a few puddles right at the start of the Deadmans Grave section. Here we are, about a mile from the last set of gates, and we have the Berners Heath wall that's been fired on back in wartime in the Second World War, used as target practice. You can still see some of the holes left by gunfire and tanks. A little bit further on from the Berners Heath wall, if you cycle along a cycle path which eventually leads you to the Brandon Country Park, there's also Elvedon War Memorial. From the smell and what's on the floor, the farmer's recently been harvesting onions, as you can see. Once you're past the field of onions, if you keep going, go straight across the access road for Elvedon Estate. You then get to the Elvedon War Memorial. Set back from the Elvedon War Memorial is a gate which should take you to Brandon Country Park. I haven't cycled that route yet, but I plan to do so in the future. The next part of the ride takes you to the top of the King's Forest, and it goes along a lovely concrete old track through some fields. It goes from concrete into sand eventually, which is quite sketchy in winter time, but since we've had a very dry spell recently, it's likely to be very sandy. There are some big holes. This stone commemorates the silver jubilee of King George V. The forestry commissioners began in 1935 to afforest the King's Forest and to plant with beeches Queen Mary's Avenue, which follows the course of the Icknield Way. This monument is at the very top of the King's Forest. On a hot day, the beech trees give some respite from the sun. In winter time this can be incredibly muddy, but today it's just sand. After riding through the King's Forest, I'm heading back to the visitors car park and then from there home. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, a like and subscribe, and I'll try and do some more. Bye bye.